What is up, nerds? It's me, your buddy pal, Hey Archer. Welcome back to Nerd Affiliated. You are here because has commanded you to watch this Conan figure unboxing from Super 7. Let's talk about it. Let's open these. Let's roll that intro. All right, welcome back to another exciting episode, another fun unboxing from Super 7. So, do me a favor, hit that like button, hit subscribe, hit the bell to get notified whenever any of these unboxing videos come out, and so you can see all of our other videos when they drop here on the channel. So, I am a fan of Conan the Barbarian, one of my favorite movies. Also, big fan of Arnold Schwarzenegger. So when Super 7 announced this Ultimate figure, I had to get it right away. The question was, did I have to get the throne as well? So let's look at these figures. I guess you could say these figures. Let's look at the figure. Let's look at this accessory. And of course, we're going to compare it to some other Super 7 figures. More specifically, another Conan the Barbarian figure. So let's look at the packaging. I'm showing you these figures in this format just to highlight how they arrived. And this bothered me, but at the same time, it shouldn't. You normally get a cardboard sleeve that goes around the Ultimate figure. You take it out of the cardboard sleeve, and then you have the actual sleeve that's part of the packaging. Oh, nice. So the one thing I love about Super 7 is that when I pay the price tag of $50, I feel like I'm spending $50. Like I feel like it's valued at $50. Take that out, and then you have your figure. For example, I no longer have the cardboard, but that is a sleeve that comes with the Lemmy Ultimate figure. Now, the reason I say this shouldn't bother me is I am actually an out-of-box collector. This Lemmy sleeve and box is probably the only one I have left. I might still have the Cliff one, I'm not sure. But usually, I take everything out of the box. I dispose of the box just because of space. But I know plenty of Super 7 collectors that not only take their figures out of the box, but they keep the boxes. For one, if they want to ever trade it or sell it, having the sleeve in the packaging is part of the deal in most Super 7 cases. But two, if they don't want to display a figure anymore, put it back in the packaging, then take it back out if you want to redisplay it or use it for photographs. So getting a display like this, packaging like this, is part of the Super 7 charm. Getting that in the mail is not part of the Super 7 charm. All right, so first up, you have Conan the... Actually, I keep saying Conan Barbarian. First up, you have King Conan, fresh in the standard Super 7 packaging. And as I mentioned before, does not come with a sleeve. But also, as we look at the packaging, it's pretty plain. You do have this bio on the back here, just talking about Conan. You have the lion's seal here, or the lion symbol that he will have on the throne. No cool art or anything on it. So I will have no issue throwing this one out once I unbox it. But let's take a look and see what we got. All right, so Conan comes with his signature sword. He has a smaller, kind of like dagger type sword, 3 sets of hands, and an alternate head sculpt. And I'm not going to lie, I'm already kind of feeling underwhelmed with this one. But let's take all of these out of the packaging. All right, so first up, looking at the figure itself, it is a pretty cool figure. He does have a cloth cape on the back. It's cloth under here as well, but everything else is standard plastic. single joint at the knees, good articulation on the hips, single joint at the elbow. See, so you have the foxtails kind of wrapped around on the back there. But immediately I do not see, and this is not a surprise. I should say this up front. Upon looking at the renders of this figure, it was obviously not Arnold Schwarzenegger. That was already ruled out. However, I don't think it's even kind of close to Arnold Schwarzenegger. We'll look at some comparisons later. But right away, that's kind of a disappointment when I'm looking at this figure. Comes with an alternate head sculpt. I am really struggling here to see what was the reason for having two head sculpts, other than just saying it comes with two head sculpts. One of them, the eyes are looking a little bit more up. So you could say maybe that's him on the throne, but it's not enough to make a difference that you need a second one. Also, one of them doesn't match. Actually, they don't match eye color wise. One of them doesn't look colored in as much. The other one is blue. I don't understand the purpose here other than I have a backup head sculpt if I want to use it on another figure. Now, once you take the head sculpt off, you know, the foxes, that fur comes off so you can rock him that way. This whole piece comes off here as well. And then if you did want to, you could take the cloth off. So with one figure, we have that issue. Oh, maybe the other one is for this. Okay, hang on. All right, so it's better, but it still looks weird. It still looks very weird. Yeah, it looks like the neck peg is too long to have him without all of the getup on. And, you know, to their defense, are you probably going to have him without the whole getup? No, you're probably going to have it with it on. But again, if we're going to get an extra head sculpt, at least make it useful for something. And in this case, it doesn't really do anything. Now, as far as hands, one set of hands are like this open palm, so that I guess he's resting on his knee. The other is your standard sword holding hand. It just looks really small. I think that would be my only complaint here. We have his sword. And I'm excited to have this because with the other Conan figure, if I ever do want to take a photo where he's not bloody, I can have this sword with him instead of the bloody one. And then we have this like kind of dagger and sheath type thing to go on his side. So yeah. All right, let's open the throne and see what's going on in there. All right, so here's a look at his throne. Underwhelmed, safe to say. There is really good texture here. This like leather feels good. The lines here do feel different. The cloth here is actually not cloth. It's molded onto this plastic here, so you can't take that off. You can, however, take the throne off and then use this as is. There's these little plastic pieces on here. So if you wanted to stand on that alone, you could. But I don't see like a purpose in that. So you're definitely, in my opinion, yeah. So in my opinion, this is how it's going to be displayed. Now you also get this spear or something of a sort. And that goes on the throne as well. So this spear actually I thought I was supposed to peg into this thing. Well, I swore in the promo photos this was supposed to like peg in or something, but that's not the case here, unless I'm doing something wrong. All right, so here he is on the throne, and yeah, I don't know what to do with this. I guess like that, maybe. So I guess you do that. You know, you have the spear next to him as he sits on his chair. You know, it's called a throne, but I'm not getting thrown out of this. I'm sorry. Let's do some... oh, by the way, he does have really good ab crunch to lean over on the throne. So, yeah, let's do some figure comparisons. All right, so now we have my first Conan Super 7 figure on the left, the war paint Conan the Barbarian from the middle of the movie. And then on the right side, you have King Conan from the end of the movie. Now, right away, you could see what I was talking about at the beginning, where on the left side, that's definitely Arnold Schwarzenegger. On the right side, that is definitely not Arnold Schwarzenegger. The skin tones are a bit different. The hand sizes are also different from my eye, but I could be wrong. And you could see that the King Conan sword has no blood on it versus Warpaint has the blood. I had the idea of giving Warpaint Conan a non-bloody sword, but as you can see, because of the blood splatter on his skin, there's absolutely no point in doing that. So yeah, two different Conan figures. By the way, Warpaint is not the first Conan figure. They did have another one that came out before this. That one did not look good, in my opinion. I have no issue skipping that one. Warpaint is my favorite. They do have a new one coming out from the end of the movie. That one, the head sculpt also looks like Conan the Barbarian. So if you wanted an Arnold Schwarzenegger without face paint, the newer one coming out might be your only option. Continuing with the Super 7 comparisons, on the left, we have the Ultimate Lino from Thundercats. And on the right, we have my new favorite Super 7 Ultimate, and that is Lemmy of Motorhead. The unboxing experience with Lemmy and Lino, completely different from this unboxing experience. I will say that right up front. You know where I'm going on this review, but we're going to keep going with the figure comparisons. Let's go on to the next one. Next up, we have probably my favorite figure company at the moment, and that is NECA. And I wanted to point out two figures that I thought kind of, in my opinion, live outside of their respective lines. On the left, you have Hudson from Gargoyles. His wings barely make the frame. Actually, the one on the left does not make the frame. And then on the right, you have the NECA Shaman Predator Ultimate figure. Both these figures, I believe, if you're doing a different display that's not of their franchises, so if you're doing like a Mythic Legions display, some sort of medieval display or magic display, I feel like these two figures can fit in those worlds. And I want to see if they line up with this Ultimate King Conan. In my opinion, they do not. Shaman is about to eat it. He's barely hanging on. So this isn't a knock on Super 7. I will say that right away. NECA is known for their more realistic, kind of grungy, dirty looking figures. Super 7, very polished. So if you were going to buy this figure with the hopes of it fitting into a, again, Mythic Legions, Magic, even Gargoyles display as a king from the, the age of Gargoyles, doesn't quite fit. He's almost too clean, too polished, too shiny. So there is our NECA comparison. All right, now lastly, I had to do this comparison. On the left, we have the T-800 from Terminator by NECA. On the right, the return of Warpaint, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Conan the Barbarian from Super 7. And you already knew this. Conan in the middle, King Conan, has no resemblance to Arnold Schwarzenegger, but I'm calling this part the Seth Bear section. If you have an Arnold Schwarzenegger display, if you're doing a retro display, will King Conan fit into that display? I'm going to say no. I'm going to say no. Looking at, again, NECA on the left, Super 7 on the right, Super 7 Arnold Schwarzenegger done right, generic King Conan figure. Look, I was excited. I was super excited for this figure, and I will say one thing. It is my fault that I had the expectation it will look a little bit like Arnold, because in the promo shots, it doesn't really look like Arnold. So I don't know why I thought when I got it in hand, it would look somewhat like him. But at the end of the day, it looks nothing like the man. $55. The Throne, $45. Yes. $55, $45. I spent a whopping $124.79 on this Super 7 Ultimate with this accessory. And I'm sorry. This is not it. This is not it. I feel like lately I've been picking on Super 7 a lot, and I don't mean to, because I do generally enjoy some of their figures. I think some of the practices of Super 7 are questionable. This figure, I ordered it January of 2023. It is now May of 2024, and I just got this figure today. That's one problem. Two, we're keeping the Super 7 Ultimate pricing of $55, but yet I'm getting a figure with a couple hands. All right, fine. But I'm getting a head sculpt that is exactly the same. There's no difference going one to the other. It does nothing for me. No, absolutely nothing. I think this is my end point with Super 7 Ultimates at the moment. I think I'm at a point now where I can't buy into the hype anymore of what I think a figure will look like, looking at renders without seeing the figure in actual physical form. I think I'm just at that point now. Now, if more Metallica figures come out, you got me, I'm in. If, you know, a different version of Lemmy comes out that's not just a different shirt, maybe I'm in. If they do end up doing real Ghostbusters and somehow beat Mondo to the punch, I'm in. But sadly, this King Conan from the end of Conan the Barbarian might be the end of me with Super 7. But hey, crazier things have happened. Shame, shame, shame. I forgot to do a head swap in this review. So on the left, War Paint Conan with the King Conan head sculpt. On the right, the reverse. War Paint head sculpt, King body, and it does not work. It does not work. Look at this. Oh my God. And then on here, it's on there, but doesn't turn very easily. Hang on. You know, this is better. This is better. I wish I didn't have the War Paint on it as an alternate, but yeah. Yeah, $55. $55. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. I can't even. Oh my God. Oh my God.
The hell with you.
Hey, Archer Live every Thursday, 8:15-ish p.m. here on Nerd Affiliated. But every Monday morning, 8 a.m.-ish, you have Nerdy Coffee. Two different shows, two different vibes. Either way, you're stuck with this guy. Are you all in on the Conan the Barbarian line? Are you not collecting it? Let me know your thoughts down below. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll talk to all you nerds in the next video. Peace. I'm out of here. Bye, Crom. Bye, Crom.